us more about the AG structure and all the elected positions and how they are organized? How do you fit into that? Is
Sure.
your an elected position? So that's sort of a clear idea. If you can give the viewers, that would be it.
Sure. So, like I said, we have the Attorney General, and then we have an executive office, which comprises of the Attorney General, the Solicitor General, who is the second man in charge, his right-hand man, and the Deputy Attorney General, the Chief Deputy Attorney General, who oversees the other Deputy Attorney Generals. Each Deputy Attorney General has a division under him. We have 9 divisions. Like I mentioned, I'm part of one of the divisions that is commercial transactions and litigation. And there's 3 sections in our division. We have tax and real property and constructions and authorities, which I'm a part of, and business and finance. And so I fit in right under that division. I do a lot of work that has to do with, like I explained in layman's terms, but overall just business and financial and property interests of the state of Georgia, and general representation of the state agencies and authorities that I mentioned. We also work with Georgia Department of Revenue, State Road and Tollway Authority, and these are the ones that I personally work. And so a little bit about, of course, the AG's position is elected, but all the AAGs, who are the assistant attorney generals, we all go through a similar process of being hired. And the first person that reached out to me here was my section chief. So that would be the person that is heading the real estate constructions and authorities section. And you go through an interview process with them. It's a 3-round interview process. So that's your first round. The second round was with the deputy attorney general, who oversees my division. And the third round is with the AG himself, and either the solicitor general or the deputy attorney general will also be there. So I went through those 3 rounds. It's great. The third round, I didn't expect it, but the AG asked me to ask him questions instead of the other way around, which was fantastic and really a breath of fresh air. So, and since then, I've been here.
And Aanal, you said 9 different
9 divisions.
Right? Can you name them if you remember?
Yes, absolutely. So the first division will be the operations division, which overlooks the administrative aspect of everything in our office. The second division is regulated industries and professions division, and they do a lot of False Claims Act cases, natural resources, and regulated public interest cases. Licensing board work. Then the one that I mentioned I'm a part of is the commercial transactions and litigation division. And then there's a criminal justice division. Now, this is the one that you were asking me about, the criminal side to it. This is the one that represents the state of Georgia in those capital felony appeals and in death penalty cases and such that are imposed. Also part of all of the public safety cases and any of those public issues that come up regarding post-conviction litigation and such. Then we have the general litigation division, which this is more of that civil lit that people like to refer to it as, which deals with the civil rights, the residents of Georgia and the residents of the United States overall. It deals with torts, which is the civil suits that are between people of the same state where there's a civil wrongdoing that's been done. And if you and I, one-on-one were suing each other and somehow the state was involved, that's where that would come in. You deal with damages or property damages and such. And then workers' compensation cases, which are also something where generally if a person will sue whichever company or, a establishment that they work for, and there's any state laws that are involved under which that they're bringing the suit, then that's when we come in and we can look at that. And a lot of this, like I mentioned, has a lot of heavy influence on looking at the AG's opinions and where we fall. That to us is as important as a precedence of the case, because that's literally what the AG has read the law as. And so we try to consistently match up exactly how you enforce the law with that. And whenever we draft things and whenever we argue things, that's with that, having that at the back of our head, that this is where our office stands. There's also a government services and employment division that deals with the election ethics, the open records and open meetings requests. Open records and open meetings, I think it's just worth mentioning here that everything that is kept as a record as part of government functions or as part of government agencies is something that you can, as an individual who lives in the state, who you can file an open records request and you can receive forms and anything else that you filled out that the state would have access to, given if you need it, given if you have a matter that involves it. So that's something that is nice for the residents and the individuals to know that these are your materials, as much as we, as in the state, keeps track of them. But this is your information, and all you have to do is file a open records request. Of course, there's very detailed instructions on how to do that on our website, and just generally if you Google it, but it's available. And I'm not sure how many people know that, but that's your information. You have claims to it.